Hello, Year 1. I hope that you are all okay and have had a fantastic day of learning today. I thought I would share with you one of my favourite stories, and it is called Jack and the Beanstalk. So relax, get comfortable and cosy, and enjoy. Once upon a time, there lived a boy called Jack. He lived in a cottage with his mother, and their most valuable possession was a cow called Daisy. Daisy provided fresh milk for Jack and his mother every day. They loved her very much. Sadly, the day came when Jack and his mother had no money left. Jack's mother told him that he would have to take Daisy to the market to sell her. Jack was distraught. That means he was very upset. But he knew that they had no choice. He set off to market with Daisy, feeling very sorrowful. Sorrowful means sad. On the way to market, Jack met a man. The man had a large curly moustache and was wearing a sparkly yellow cloak. Check out those adjectives: large, curly, sparkly, yellow. He stared with interest at Daisy and then said, "What a fine cow you have there, Jack." "How do you know my name?" asked Jack, confused. "I know a lot of things," chuckled the mysterious man. Chuckled means he gave a little giggle. "For example, I know that these beans that I hold in my hand have magical powers." "I will give you these incredible beans in exchange for your cow," suggested the man. "When you plant them, they will grow right up to the sky within just a few hours." "Oh no," replied Jack. "Daisy is all my mother and I have, and I must get a good price for her at the market today." "With these beans, you will never have to worry about money again," said the man persuasively. And persuasively means that the man is trying to get Jack to say, "Yes, I'll give you my cow in exchange for these beans." At last, Jack gave in and swapped Daisy for the beans. When Jack arrived back at the house, he skipped excitedly into the kitchen. "Are you back already, Jack?" asked his mother. "I do hope you got a good price for Daisy." "Better than that, mother," sang Jack. "I have magical beans." He started to explain about the man he had met, but his mother was not listening. She was extremely angry. She took the beans and threw them out of the window. Jack was sent to his bedroom. He lay down on his bed and cried himself to sleep. The next morning, Jack woke up and noticed that his bedroom was much darker than usual. Wonder what it could be. A shadow fell across the room. He ran outside to investigate. Jack was astounded, that means he couldn't believe what he was seeing, by what he saw in his garden. Overnight, the beans had grown into a gigantic beanstalk. It was thicker than the trunk of an ancient tree, and it was covered in healthy green leaves. It was the most amazing plant that he had ever seen. The beanstalk went up high into the clouds. He could not see the top of it. "I will climb this beanstalk," said Jack, feeling determined. Determined means he really wants to do it, and nothing is going to stop him. Jack was fit and strong, and started to climb the beanstalk with ease. That means he found it easy, it wasn't difficult for him. However, the higher he climbed, the harder it got to find things that he could grab onto. Soon his limbs started to tire. So limbs are his arms and legs. So he's getting really tired now. "I must go on," he said to himself firmly. He grasped the beanstalk and climbed up higher into the clouds. Eventually, he reached the very top. Jack saw an enormous castle. As he stepped closer, he realized that even the door was far bigger than any he had ever seen before. "I wonder who or what lives behind that giant door?" It had been left slightly ajar. Ajar means open, and Jack was able to sneak inside. Jack stared in amazement. All of the furniture was huge. The chairs and tables towered above him like skyscrapers. There was a bowl of water on the floor for a cat or a dog to drink from, but it was so big that Jack could have bathed in it. Suddenly, the floor beneath Jack's feet began to shake, and Jack heard a loud rumbling noise. His heart was beating loudly in his chest as he scurried quickly inside a cupboard to hide. Who could it be? A colossal giant, year one, you know about my word colossal, we use that a lot, don't we? Marched into the room. Jack peered nervously through a hole in the cupboard door. The giant's face was covered by a bushy brown beard. He had rosy cheeks, and there was not one single hair on the top of his head. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman, bellowed the giant menacingly. Jack shivered with fear. The terrifying giant sat down at the table. On the table was a hen and a golden harp. The glittering harp caught Jack's eye, and although he was petrified, he watched with fascination. Lay, said the giant, and the hen laid an egg. The egg was made of solid gold. Jack was mesmerized by the bright shining egg as he watched through the hole in the cupboard door. Sing, said the giant, and the harp sang. A beautiful calming song came out of the harp, and it seemed to cast a sort of spell over the giant, because he soon fell asleep. When Jack was certain that the giant was fully asleep, he crept out from his hiding place and skillfully climbed up the table leg and onto the tabletop. He grabbed the hen and the harp and made a daring leap down to the ground. The hen nestled happily under Jack's arm, but the harp was alarmed to be grabbed by a stranger. As Jack headed towards the door, the harp cried, "Help, master!" The harp's shouting woke up the snoozing giant. He jumped up from his chair and spotted Jack. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman, he roared. The giant started to chase Jack. Jack didn't stop to look behind him. He ran with all of his might. The giant got closer and closer. The giant's strides were vast, so he was able to catch up with Jack very quickly. Jack reached the beanstalk and started to climb back down it. He was breathing very quickly, and his heart was racing. It was not easy climbing down the beanstalk while holding on to a hen and a harp. The beanstalk shook. Jack looked upwards. The giant had got onto the beanstalk and was climbing down after him. Oh my goodness, what do we think's going to happen next? When Jack reached the bottom of the beanstalk, he stumbled onto the ground, utterly exhausted. Help! He shouted at the top of his voice. He knew that the giant wasn't far behind him. Jack's mother came rushing towards the beanstalk with an axe in her hand. Without hesitation, she sprinted to the base of the beanstalk and began chopping at it frantically. The beanstalk began to wobble, and a loud cry came from above them. The giant fell and crashed to the ground. He was never seen again. Jack hugged his mother. Thank you, he smiled, still out of breath and shaking all over. I'm so glad to have you back, Jack, she whispered, looking at him lovingly. Jack's mother was delighted to see the golden harp and the hen. The harp now seemed happy to call Jack his new master, and the hen quickly started to lay golden eggs on Jack's command. In fact, Jack was able to sell the golden eggs to buy Daisy back. They didn't have to worry about having enough money again, and they all lived happily ever after. I hope that you enjoyed my book, Year 1. What was your favourite part? Thank you very much for listening today, and have a fantastic evening, and we will see you tomorrow for some more learning. Bye-bye.